today we are continuing, actually, we're finalizing element 16 of your life book dealing with addictive foods. Okay, so what did you think of the quiz yesterday? We're going to be looking at the results, pages 324 to 325. So when we ended yesterday, I asked you to just total up how many rarely, how many occasionally, and how many daily. All right. So I'm just going to read the results, right? So if you had more than 6 on the rarely, you are low susceptibility. Okay. If you have more than 6 occasionally, you're moderate susceptibility to the sugar and refined flour. If you had more than 6 daily, then you are highly susceptible to these. And, as we mentioned yesterday, it's not a right, wrong, good, bad. It's what it is, right? And it's just being aware so that you can be hyper vigilant. All right. So how did you fare? Okay. So the more boxes that you actually had checked, right, especially in that daily, the higher your risk. All right. So here's the thing. If your score was high on that daily, you really want to avoid eating sugar or the refined flour processed foods. Okay. Because you've hopefully by now, right, as we've gone through this, that you're at your healthy weight. And Dr. A, he's actually found that part of that higher susceptibility, it's genetically predetermined, right? So you know how he says, like, oh, it's not your fault, right? 10,000 year ago bodies, right? But so it wasn't your fault then. But now, if you know about it, it is your job to focus. Okay. So just like alcohol, if you're at a high risk, it's critical that you avoid these sugary and starchy processed foods. The combination of genetics and the environment puts you at risk. Okay. So, but what we're looking to is really to adopt Dr. A's healthy eating system and choosing these low glycemic green color foods that can actually keep you potentially at a low risk. You can eat whole fruits, especially those lower glycemic index, the deep green ones, but stay away from the processed fruits, right? Which is fruit juices and cans of fruit with the added sugar, right? If it's cans of fruit that are packed with the fruit juice, that's a whole lot different than in the heavy syrup. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go take a look at a can of fruit. All right. The whole idea is that through the habits of healthy eating, you're going to make good choices and avoid the need for willpower, right? So he puts it kind of simply. He says, just say no to anything that's not in the green. And let's be clear, that's not, oh, if it's not green, I can't eat it, like lettuce. No, take a look back through the life book, back through this habits of health book, those color-coded systems. In every category, there was the dark green and the light green colors. He's saying stay there. All right. If you have a moderate or even a low susceptibility, just still be cautious with any of these processed foods that contain the sugar and refined flour. All right. Remember, if you can avoid stimulating that hormonal metabolic switches that stimulate the insulin and allow that leptin to signal that you're full, like if you can avoid interrupting that, your body will give you proper advice. It's only when we start eating the food industry's ultra processed food like substance, that's when we really lose control. And by avoiding those sugar and flour substances, you will stop some of these wild surges of dopamine release that really create the cravings, leading to addiction and loss of control. The habits of healthy eating system, they're going to help keep those two hormones in balance. All right. This is why you want to study and learn how to use that portion controlled plate system, right, to avoid the excess calories and to use the color coded charts to make sure we're avoiding the high glycemic foods. Remember that plate system, it's a 9-inch plate cut into quarters, 25% protein, 25% healthy starches, and then 25% fruit, 25% vegetable. That whole side can be vegetables. It cannot be all fruit. All right. So study this, study the parts on the healthy eating. It's all in the habits of health system. Okay. And really until you're clear on what it means to be healthy for life. If you're in doubt, If you're in a hurry, grab a fueling, grab, one of the 100-calorie snacks, right? That's going to ensure that you're getting a low glycemic index portion controlled meal. Because by moving through phase one, which was the weight loss phase, and continue to adopt this eating system, you can rewire your brain and it will become automated. So during this period, we've, have upregulated your dopamine receptors. And if you are in a highly susceptible group, you are more likely to be sensitive to sweetness and to refined flour products. So really, you're going to want to avoid them to prevent a relapse into the cravings again. Remember, you also have the stop, challenge, and choose, right? And that stop, period, stop. Remember, we talked about a car. You're in the car, stop, put the car in park, turn off the engine, take out the key. Then challenge yourself. Wait. Really make that decision. What's going to help me get to my goal? And then make your choice. All right. Keep this in full force. And there's times when you really feel emotional tension, extra stress, or potential triggers. You know what they are. And if you don't, just take some time. I encourage you to stop and think about, okay, when this happens, what am I going to do? All right. So thank you for joining me today as we conclude another element in our life book. I'm telling you, this is an element that I go back to over and over again. And does this mean you're going to be perfect? No, it doesn't. But it means that you now are aware and you have tools. And if you go, wait, what just happened to me? You're becoming aware. All right. So thank you for joining me again as we conclude this. And I am so looking forward to you next time that you tune in as we begin element 17. This is going to be fantastic. The next two elements are about exercise. And don't fret. Don't say, oh, no, I don't want to do it. No. It's going to be a lot of fun. So please feel free, like, comment, share the post. Hop on over to the YouTube channel called Healthy and Vibrant, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.